This is my 2005 Audi A4. It's done 112,000 miles and it's powered by a 2-litre naturally aspirated petrol engine that produces just 128 brake horsepower and 144 foot-pounds of torque. Oh yeah, and it also has a CVT.
Hey guys, hello and welcome, and in this video I'm going to be going over living with a CVT car and what it's like to drive, because I've been looking on the internet, because CVTs fascinate me actually in the way they work, and quite a few people have actually sent another comments on people's videos as, well, what do you like to drive? Do you still have a gear selector? Did you drive like an auto? Do you select gears like a manual or whatever? So I'm going to explain everything like that in this video, and also what my experiences have been living with a car with a CVT transmission. But I can say, in the actual owning this car for the past year, I've had absolutely zero problems with the transmission. And what's worth noting before that is this car belonged to my girlfriend's dad, and he bought this car with 10,000 miles on the clock, and he literally took up to 108,000, and again the car's had zero problems with the transmission. I'm not even sure if the actual oil has been changed yet, which is something I'm going to do quite soon, so I'm not sure how that affects the driving characteristics. See, what the problem with CVTs are is they don't respond well to high torque applications. So turbo diesels, for example, do tend to rip through the CVT gearboxes, but the turbo diesel has 2 to 3 times more low down power going through the car than this does. This is very smooth and it doesn't really put much abuse on the box, and for that reason the CVT is actually quite a good pairing, because obviously fuel economy is not going to be as good on petrol. Saying that though, I do get 32 miles per gallon out of the car, which doesn't sound fantastic, I know, but you've got to bear in mind this is an old petrol engine that dates back to the 90s, and to get out from a car this size I actually think is quite reasonable. So the first thing is, whilst to start the car up, the actual gear selection is identical to most automatic. You got your park, reverse, neutral, drive, and in my case sport and Tiptronic modes. So it's literally just a case of putting your foot on the brake and slide it down to drive, and drive's engaged. Now most CVTs have a torque converter on them, so like a normal automatic, you take your foot off the clutch and you move forward. This one, the Audi Multitronic version, has a clutch instead, but it still acts in the same way as that. If you take your foot off the brake now, see the car just moves forward, even with the handbrake on, which I forgot to take off. So yeah, just like that respect, it's absolutely the same to drive as an automatic in ease and keeping forward in traffic and all that type of stuff. So since it's so similar in that respect, what is a bit off-putting to some people is what they're like when you get them up to speed. The advantage of the CVT is that it doesn't have any stepped gears. It's just one continuously variable transmission. It's in the name, and basically it's let that guy go. Yeah, and basically what it just means is it'll provide the optimum revs for whatever speed you need, or whether you need economy or performance. The car can give you basically what it needs. Let's stop off at McDonald's. Craving some food. So yeah, what's off-putting about a CVT when you initially get into one if you never drove one before? It's actually normal cars that have made CVT off-putting, because you're used to a rise and fall in the revs as you change gears. But really, in reality, that's not optimal, because the rise and fall in the revs means it's only for a split second producing the optimum revs you need for fuel economy or for performance. And just what CVT will do, will just hold the gearbox at those particular revs it needs to either give you optimum economy or optimum performance. And what that feels like to people who are driving them is like really, really bad clutch slip. If you ever drove a car with the clutches slipping, you go out to pull out of a junction fast and the revs will stay at 4,000 or whatever, and the car basically barely moves. And in a sense that's what CVT does. The revs could stay at 4,000 and you put your foot down. The only difference is the car shifts, the car takes off, and it takes off quite a bit faster normally, or at least on a rolling start, than a normal gearbox could do. Thanks. So in terms of actually driving the car, it is absolutely lovely to drive. As you can see now, I'm just pulling out of a junction. People say that these multi-tronic, that's the name Audi give to these ones, or the CVT gearboxes in general, have this rubber band effect where they're quite slow to take off and they're quite slow to kick down, so to speak. I don't really find that in this car. I've just pulled out that junction then quite fast. The car was already rolling, but it kicked down straight away and then pulled me out. I will say when it's slow when you come to a complete stop, such as here now. I'm watching cars come off this roundabout, and it's just not always safe to go. So it's a bit of a delay, then it kicks in. There's a second or two where it goes slow and then fast. Once the car's moving and you kick down, like now, 3, 2, 1, point foot down, straight away it kicks in very, very quickly. But there's no real delay, and I feel like it's as quick as I'd kick down in a manual or an automatic. It's standard auto. At low speeds, this car is so smooth because there's no gear changes, it's seamless. It's just such a nice car, an easy car to drive. It's so relaxing, it's just such a nice cruiser. And this box I really wouldn't want probably in a sports car, despite probably being able to go faster in a sports car than a normal transmission would. Because yeah, I will admit that the clutch slip feel really does take away from some of the driving experience. But it depends what you want the driving experience to be. If you want a sporty experience, it's not always about speed when you're driving in a sporty manner. It's about the feeling of the car, the rise and fall of revs. It's nice, you feel connected. You don't with this car. But that disconnection can be quite nice when you're just driving normally, calmly. It's lovely. This car, it's not sporty. It's got leather seats. It's an SE spec. It's got soft suspension. Yeah, it's the A4 Pensioner edition, but so what? It's great at what it does. So one thing I like as well, you can put this car into Tiptronic modes, basically sequential modes, should I say. And you can change between 7 preset gears, so basically it emulates gears again. 40 miles an hour now, and just drop it down to second gear. So 40 miles that second gear. Now, one foot down, there we go. Revs, change gear. It's a quick gear change. I like the sound of this engine. I know it's only a little 4-cylinder, but good. So I'm just going to come onto a 70 miles an hour mode now, and let's put a foot down in sport mode. Get up to speed while I can. Now it's going to emulate gears. I'm flooring this now. All the way to the red line. And the car emulates a gear, which makes it feel like a normal, conventional automatic. So, in terms of sporty driving, it still can be fun to drive. It's just not all CVTs have that. The older version of this car, the B6, didn't have the sport mode, and as far as I know, it didn't have the sequential mode either. Which all just makes a little bit of a difference to what the car's like to drive. The B7 version does give you a bit more driver control.
What's your view of CVTs? Do you think they're a good idea or the work of the devil? Leave your love or hate in the comment section below, and if this video has been useful to you, be sure to hit that subscribe button and check the bell notification icon to be alerted when future videos are released.